The federal government investigating 3 local Kansas school districts for their policies on gender identity. Olathe, Shawnee Mission, and KCK schools are the schools in question here. Kansas Attorney General Chris Kobach says they're violating federal law by not informing parents about their child's identity preferences at school. Fox 4's Jacob Sloan joining us live near the Shawnee Mission School District Center for Academic Achievement tonight. So Jacob, you talked with the Attorney General about this investigation today.
Yeah, and Attorney General Kobach told me that he says they're violating the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act by not disclosing that gender identity information to parents. For school districts that are requiring their staff to comply with their mandate, that is to send students to the restroom or locker room based on their gender identity, he says they're violating Title IX rights.
The original complaint from the Defense of Freedom Institute says that all 3 districts issued guidance telling school personnel not to tell parents when students disclose their gender identity.
And when schools try to exclude the parents, as these 4 school districts are doing, they end up violating federal law and violating the United States Constitution.
The complaint continues to say that at Shawnee Mission schools, guidance said that students must be able to use the locker rooms and restrooms that aligned with their gender identity, not their sex assigned at birth. When I spoke to Attorney General Kobach, he told me that's a Title IX violation.
If you try to incorporate gender identity discrimination into the definition of sex discrimination, you result in more sex discrimination, because then you end up putting females in an unsafe environment in such an example as locker rooms and bathrooms. And so you end up impairing the very objective of Title IX.
Working for You, Fox 4 received responses from all 3 local districts in response to the investigation. Olathe Public Schools say that their expectation is that their staff works with parents on these student-related matters. KCK schools say they have no policy in violation of federal law, and at Shawnee Mission schools, they say they haven't gotten any complaints from students or parents about violations. But a teacher sued the district last year over its diversity and inclusion trainings. In my interview, Kobach says that gender identity material has to be run by parents first.
If these issues are going to be presented in textbooks, or if they're going to be presented in some other way to students, you have to include the parents. You cannot exclude information from the parents. And number 2, you have to give parents the right to opt their children out.
And if the districts are found in violation of federal law, the consequences could be severe.
The hammer the federal government has, if the Department of Education determines that these schools are indeed violating federal law, is the loss of federal funds. And I don't think anyone wants to see that happen.
Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights is investigating, and as Attorney General Kobach said, Bria, that could result, if there are violations, in the termination of federal funding for those school districts.
Jacob Sloan, live for us tonight. Jacob, thank you.